you get used to it. At first, it was like when I first came and everyone was staring at me. I'm like, I get it, I'm pretty, but I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
만나서 반갑습니다.
맛있겠다.
Wow. No, then you could just say any phrase or any words that you know in Korean. That's
Okay.
안녕하세요.
Oh, okay. So for today's video, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to ask you about like your lifestyle in Korea and how you feel like living in South Korea as a foreigner. So what you're going to do is after first, I'm going to start with you, and then like anyone who is ready, like
Okay.
it's just free talking, so you don't have to worry so much. Okay, so let's start with your names again.
I'm Kate
Kate. Okay, so Kate
from the US.
from the US, and then
Brittany from Canada.
Brittany from Canada, and then
Lily from the UK.
Lily from the UK. All right. So I'm Peter from Ghana. So the first question I would like to ask is that what is life like living in Korea as a foreigner? How do you see life like as a foreigner in Korea?
It's definitely different than being in the US or the UK or Canada. But when I came here with a pretty open mind that it was going to be a different experience. And moving across the world to Korea, I wanted a different experience. And I wanted a new culture. I wanted to meet people with different life experiences, customs, beliefs. So while some things are hard with language barriers, getting used to just how daily life is, it's like a good learning experience in my opinion.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, it's different, but that's why I came here.
Mhm,
Like, I wanted something different to my own culture,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought Korea would be like a good chance to experience new things. So yeah, the difference is good most of the time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. A lot of people are also very friendly, very helpful. And I came here with an open mind. I also did like a lot of research before coming here, so not a lot of things have been like, whoa. But I think it's just important to remember to have an open mind, and if something's like not the way that you're used to like remember that you're in a different country or in a different culture. Honestly, for the most part, it's been really good. Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like you all came here with the idea of having an open mind and then embracing a new culture. So the question is, are you satisfied? Do you think your expectations have been met?
Yes. Yeah. We all came with like a 1-year contract and we're all going to stay another year. Just because it is, obviously there are hardships. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat and be like, life is perfect all the time. Like, no, there's definitely hard things, but I feel like we're at that age, like we're all in our mid-20s. Like, we want to experience that and like grow as a person. I know that when I do go back to the US, like I will be more open-minded. I'll be able to be like, I did that. I lived in a country that was so different than my own and was able to adapt there. So
Yeah, I would honestly probably say the same thing. Pretty satisfied. Again, what Kate said, obviously not everything is like going to be rainbows and daisies, and like you are going to go through hardships, especially with the language barrier is a big issue, but it makes it like you then think how to communicate like in a different way, maybe using your body more or like speaking slower. And like even though like some like I have a friend that like she's Korean and like I speak English, and like we don't really, it's a bit harder for us to communicate like in the same language, but like we're still able to be friends because like we're both very like animated and like we're both still able to express ourselves even though we don't speak the same language.
I think, yeah, very satisfied. I kept on expecting like suddenly to feel like a culture shock because I was warned about that, but I never really found it, and I think that was because I made friends quite quickly because I was lucky with the way I came here with Epic. It was quite like helpful, and if you come to the big cities, there's a lot of like Western foods. If you're ever feeling a little bit like you miss your home food, you can find it in like Seoul and Busan. Yeah, very satisfied.
So I would say that you're all satisfied with living in Korea, right? As a foreigner.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's move away from the good side to the little bit bad side of living in Korea. So what are some of the culture shocks or some of the negative feelings you've had as a foreigner in Korea?
sometimes I just get stared at.
Okay.
Like, I'll just be on the bus and there'll just be someone just staring at me. I'm like, And like, what are you staring at? Like, that's kind of like the one thing, but you just kind of stare back. Like, and it's like, well, yeah, okay, we can both stare. That's like the one that comes to mind automatically.
Okay. The interesting thing about when they stare at you is that when you also do step back, then it kind of like, then they realize that, what they're doing.
But it's like, I don't know where they're from. Maybe they're from a really small town and they like haven't seen foreigners. Like, so I try not to be like, what are you looking at? I try to see it from like their point of view. That,
getting a pretty
like they're seeing someone new as well. Like, I don't know.
So for me, what I have in mind is that as a Black person, I see that perhaps for a Korean, it might be the first time of seeing like a foreigner.
Yeah.
So let me just give them that benefit. Like,
and I feel like it's good to not be rude or do anything, because then they might have like a bad perception. Like, not that I'm like have to represent like the entire United States, but it's just kind of like I don't know, be respectful. Like, we are in their country.
What about you?
I would.
The difficult parts of living in
Difficult parts, the staring, but again, I just assume that they just haven't.
People touch your hair as well.
I actually haven't had that a lot.
No.
Maybe like only twice actually, but I do. Some of my other, it happens in Canada though too. Yeah. Like maybe some of my other Black friends have had people touching my hair, but also when it comes to questions about my hair here, I'm more like.
It's like of interest.
Yeah, it's of interest, and like I understand that like.
It's like education.
Exactly. They're just curious, so I don't really take offense to anything. But yeah, the main thing is the staring. But you get used to it. At first, it was like when I first came and everyone was staring at me. I'm like, I get it. I'm pretty, but I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
We joked about that. Like, are you staring at me because I'm a foreigner, or are you staring at me because I'm pretty?
I just choose to believe the latter.
You know what? I like this mindset. Yeah. That is positive thinking. I mean, you think positively. What? Is it I'm a star?
Am I the main character or what?
Wow. What about you?
Staring is it's similar, but again, like sometimes I'm like, are you checking me out, or are you staring at me?
Oh, checking you out.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
But we're from like a smaller town as well. Like, and there's not many foreigners in our area. Like, I can go a whole week without seeing a single foreigner.
Wow.
Apart from like my friends.
Wow.
But for me, maybe making friends is difficult. Making friends with foreigners is relatively easy because it's like you've got that like isolation in common. Yeah. But making friends with Korean can be difficult because of the language barrier and I think the way they make friends here is different to Western friends. Like, I was talking to one Korean person and they were saying like they really liked it when they went to Europe because friends introduce each other to like more friends and then you all go out together. That's not really a thing here, I heard. Like, you kind of stick to your original friendship group and then like you don't really like branch out and merge two groups together.
So why do you think it's difficult to make friends? Is it a language?
I think it's a language thing. I think some people are also nervous because sometimes like if some people approach us, like you can tell they're nervous. They can speak English well, but they're nervous. So I think some people are nervous that they're gonna make a mistake when they're speaking to us, or that they're gonna say something wrong. Yeah. I think it's a language thing.
And then even for us, like I'm not fluent in Korean, so I'm not gonna walk up to Koreans and be like, "Let's be friends," because they might be like, "What are you like saying?" So it's kind of one of those things where we just don't know each other's like comfortability level. We don't know if like we're gonna have that language barrier. So that's definitely a challenge.
Also, it's like we've come to Korea, like we're the ones that should be speaking
Korean.
I'm not gonna expect you to
When
say, then
people
it's like almost
apologize-
a guilt because
Yeah,
it's
when
like
people-
I'm in your country. I should
English.
Yeah, a
Oh,
lot of people
language.
apologize for not being able to speak English well. I'm like,
Like,
no,
no,
I should be
it's my
apologizing
fault.
for not being able to
Yeah.
speak Korean well.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We're both learning Korean now. We got free Korean lessons at like the local village, like city hall. So we are like we're trying.
You're trying. I'm
But
trying.
it's
hard
difficult.
because
It's hard. It's really hard. Especially when you're not speaking it, like when I hang out with my friends, I'm speaking English with them. So when you're not speaking it on a daily basis, or like have people like practice speaking it,
And we're all English teachers, And the reason we're there is to expose the kids to English. Like they don't want us to speak Korean in class. Like they want to like us to teach our like culture and stuff like that. So it's like unless I'm talking to a Korean, like I'm not speaking Korean, you know.
So
and a lot of the times you can like prepare yourself to speak to Korean to someone and then they want to practice English. So then you don't get to speak Korean because they want to practice their English instead. So it's
you mentioned you're an English teacher.
Practice.
Well, you'd be surprised that even though I speak a little bit of Korean, I would say I'm able to have a normal conversation with a Korean.
Oh.
How long have you been in Korea?
I've been in Korea close to 6 years.
Oh,
wow. Whoa.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say like 1 year, 2 years, 6 years. Wow.
Yeah.
For life? Are you gonna be here for life? Or do you think you'll ever go back? Or what's your plan?
I'll definitely go back.
Yeah. Okay.
We've spoken about the hard parts, the difficult parts. Now there is a test. So I would like to test your Korean ability. How much Korean can you speak?
They're like, she's like intermediate. She's beginner course. I'm not even taking classes. Don't ask me.
So
It's all you, Brittany. Brittany, take us away.
A quote from the textbook, I could maybe answer it. But if you stray from that,
Let's try. I'm curious.
Maybe a team effort.
Okay,
Only
yeah,
10
yeah.
months, not 6 years. So
Okay.
we're gonna defend ourselves on that one.
all right. So what you're gonna do is that it's not going to be a very difficult challenge. You could just say any phrase or any words that you know in Korean. That's all.
Okay.
안녕하세요.
Oh, okay. What about you?
안녕하세요. 제 이름은 브니입니다. 캐나다에서 왔어요. 포항에 살아요. I know more, but I'm nervous now. I'm on the.
Wow.
She's fluent. Yeah.
Wow, that was good.
I'm not fluent,
That was good. Wow. What about you?
만나서 반갑습니다.
Oh.
맛있겠다.
Wow. No, then the last part of the interview would be like what are some of the positive moments that you've had in Korea? Like the good things, the good side of Korea that you like to share with others and then encourage them to also visit Korea.
Well, so we're all teachers, and I would say seeing the impact you have on the students, just because for a lot of our students, especially because we all don't live in Seoul, we might be like their first foreigner they're seeing daily and getting interactions with, and like seeing them be like really positive or like actually grasp a concept in English, stuff like that. I feel like that's been really positive to see the growth of the students and just make those connections and know that you're like having a positive impact, even though you're in a whole new country where you're the outsider in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say seeing the country, honestly, this country is really, really beautiful. And I've been really grateful to be able to go to different places. So just being able to like, love it, go off. So just being able to go to different places, experience different cultures, especially the architecture here is very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. And yeah, just the country is, I would always recommend people to come visit here. You have a lot to learn and it's awesome.
Similar, like I like the diversity of the landscape. Like 1 minute you can be like in the middle of a city and then there's just like a mountain and then there's like a lake and then there's a massive forest. Whereas like in England it's kind of just like flat fields and then like two like peaks. So for me it's like it's very beautiful landscape. And I feel like the architecture is very different and that's kind of what I came for, all the differences. So
the interesting thing is that you've all spoken about culture, language, and then like other things, landscape and other things, but no one has spoken about food. Is it like you don't like food?
Oh no, we love the food. Oh, we love the food.
Look, we're eating right now.
No, the food is.
So what's your favorite food then?
Kimchi jjigae. Oh, kimchi jjigae. I can eat that every single day. Oh no, I don't eat it every single day, but I could. It's that good. I love it that much. It's so good. It's so good.
What about it is so good? Is it the pork you have?
Everything. The pork. I really like kimchi too. It's like the stew. I actually didn't like soup and stew a lot before coming here. Which is so funny because I told my mom once I came here because she knows how much. Every time she makes like soup, I never eat it. And then I told her, I was like, I actually love soup now, and she like laughed.
Wow.
But it's just like the flavoring, the kimchi, the pork. I love that you can like the combination of rice and like soup. I love that combination together. It's just wow.
What about you?
Mashi soyo.
Oh,
Tteokbokki.
oh, takoyaki.
I think the school lunches here.
Oh, the school lunches are really good.
Oh yeah, we love our school.
Yeah.
lunch.
Like it's a full on feast every school.
It's like the best part of the day. You're like, what am I gonna get
Yeah.
today? You always get kimchi though.
Well, it's always like there's a new surprise.
Yeah.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about hechangku? Have you tried hechangku?
No, what's that?
Something sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of like
noodles.
kind of like
Like a hot dog kind of thing.
Yeah. I think you're gonna like it. Since
Oh, like kimchi chicken. Oh, okay. What's it called?
hechangku.
Hejanku.
Yes, hechangku.
Yeah, honestly.
Wow. All right. So it's been nice speaking with you, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was very nice to meet you.
Thank you. Bye.